When the defenders of Reno 3 became overwhelmed by the Tyranids, they engaged a last, desperate ploy to halt the invasion. The world's great dams were destroyed, and the subsequent flood drowned every creature, friend or foe, that remained on the battlefield. They thought they had won, but they had only forced their enemy to evolve.
Hello everybody, welcome back to War Budgies, where I am doing some sewing. What does sewing have to do with that intro, and why am I sewing? These are the good questions, and I'm glad you asked. I'm sewing, and we're doing that intro because this is episode 1 of a project I'm calling Project Nihilus. This is going to be a year-long project, essentially, that's going to culminate in November 2024 at the Grand Narrative event for Warhammer in Atlanta, Georgia. The Grand Narrative is basically like a tournament, but instead of going there for the purposes of victory and points and a little trophy, we're going there for narrative storytelling. There's a lot of cosplay, there's actors, there's a storyline that runs through the whole thing. Games Workshop has only done a couple of these so far, and I really want to try to make the one this year because things are mostly stable here at the cabin. We still don't have a whole lot of good battle report setup stuff, and I could really use like a big project to tackle. And this is a pretty big project. So basically all this started with my Canadian colleague, Mathieu from Mini Wargaming, who put out a video saying that he was going to the Grand Narrative event here in 2024, and he wants to bring one massive Tyranid hive fleet. And I don't just mean his collection, which is impressive. I mean, he wants to bring multiple Tyranid players, all bringing the same hive fleet, all acting narratively as one army, just this massive, overwhelming threat, which is kind of what the Tyranids are supposed to be anyways. Now, Matt is a proper lunatic for this, and I say that as one of the highest compliments I pay another human being. My favorite people are proper lunatics. I like to consider myself a proper lunatic myself, which is why I'm joining. But as many of you are probably aware if you've been watching my channel, I don't have a Tyranid army. I certainly don't have the 2,000 to 3,000 points that you're supposed to bring for the Grand Narrative. So, this is a 3-step process that's going to take us from now, which is March. We're actually going to be in Adepticon next week. See you guys there. From March to the event itself in November, here's what I got to get done. All right, 3 phases. Follow me on this. First, step 1, I need to get myself 3,000 points of Tyranids. And because it's a narrative event, I'm not engineering any kind of a specific list for powers. Also, I haven't played that much 10th edition yet. We're going to do a theme list. We're going to do a ridiculous theme list that is just going to be fun to paint, fun to play, and fun to display afterwards. So, as you might have gathered from the intro, the entire army is going to be wings or flyers. I happen to say, because I know there's some of the little floaty bugs, I might include them too. But for right now, we're starting with wings, and that means winged hive tyrant. We got 3 Tyranid primes, and the start of what's going to be ultimately 60 gargoyles. So this is going to be absolute nonsense to transport. If you're wondering why I am trying to transport this kind of stuff all with wings, well, I refer you to my earlier comment about being a lunatic. I'll jump in here to add, if you're interested in participating or if you just want to see a really cool color scheme for Tyranids, I will link down below. Matt's got some videos and all that where he's talking about how to paint up Hive Fleet Nihilus. So I'm following his guides, which is great because it's prompted me to introduce myself to both airbrushing and contrast paint, neither of which I've really done before. So again, learning experience. That's step 1. So step 1 is I need to get a bunch of NIDs. I need to get them painted up. Step 2 is the cosplay, because I've never done cosplay before either, and this is apparently just a year for me to do stuff I've never done before. So back to the sewing project. If you have done cosplay before, by the way, and you see me doing something really stupid, or if you have pro tips, please comment below. Because I've painted miniatures before, I've just never painted these miniatures before. I have never done cosplay before, I've barely done sewing before. So, what I've done in this case, we're going for a Ordo Xenos Inquisitorial Scribe. Basically sort of a David Attenborough in the grimdark future who's following the NIDs and sort of documenting what they do and how they perform. Because I want to, I won't say roleplay too much, I want to be in character, kind of. But it's tough when you're a person and you're playing bugs. So what we got here, we got an old coat from my Air Force days. We're sewing a nice red inquisitorial trim on there. Found some patches on eBay. I'll do another video about specifically the cosplay stuff as we get there. I got some surprises for it, but we'll save that for the videos. So that's step 2. Step 1, 3,000 points in NIDS. Step 2, finish a cosplay. Step 3 is to actually go to the Grand Narrative event, hopefully with everything intact, and not completely disgrace myself. Or at least disgrace myself in an entertaining way, because I'll take it. If any part of that sounds entertaining to you, then I will link the information for the Grand Narrative 2024 below. If you're a Warhammer player, you like narrative stuff, would love to see you there, even if you're not going to be part of the whole Tyranid bugs nonsense. If you are interested in joining Matt's little project, then I will link his video below. You contact him, he's got a Discord server set up where we're making plans and exchanging paint notes and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, between now and then, you can look forward to some update videos on how the cosplay is going, on how the army is going. I'm hoping to put up the first army update when I get back from Adepticon, because by then the Harridan should be here. Anyways, would love to hear from you guys down in the comments section. Thank you for watching as always, and welcome to what is really the first major project of our new life up here in Alaska and for 2024. Thanks for watching.